Welcome to the information session for students applying to AP Chemistry at Don Bosco Technical Institute. At Bosco Tech, we offer 3 different chemistry courses. In order of difficulty, they are Chemistry, typically taken by juniors, Honors Chemistry, typically taken by sophomores, and AP Chemistry, typically taken by juniors. I'm sure you're wondering what it takes to get into AP Chemistry, but before we discuss that, I need to clarify the difference between a prerequisite and a co-requisite. A prerequisite is a requirement that must be met before starting the class. In comparison, a co-requisite is a requirement that may be met either before or while you are taking the class. So the distinction is that a prerequisite must be fulfilled in advance, whereas a co-requisite can be fulfilled during the year you are taking AP Chemistry. With that in mind, let's take a look at the prerequisites and co-requisites for AP Chemistry. The prerequisites for AP Chemistry are completion of geometry, grades of B or higher in your current math and science classes, and any chemistry class. The first 2 requirements are pretty standard, but I need to emphasize the third one. You must complete a full year of chemistry or its equivalent before taking AP Chemistry. The co-requisites are Algebra 3-4, which is the second year of algebra. In other words, you have to be on the regular math track for juniors. Nothing special here. One of the frequently asked questions at these information sessions is, how hard is AP Chemistry? In order to answer this, you need to understand that AP courses are college-level content that is delivered in a high school. As a result, there is no such thing as an easy AP course, especially in science. I'll further illustrate the difficulty of the course with this anecdote. In the 2013-14 school year, 24 out of 30 AP Chemistry students had taken honors chemistry the preceding year, so you would think that they would be well prepared for the start of AP Chemistry. However, even with this experience, the median on the second test was 70%. That means that half of the students got below 70%. By the way, I use the second test because the first test of AP Chemistry is typically a review of regular chemistry, so the second test is where the difficulty really reaches typical levels for an AP course. Another common question is, what's the difference between honors and AP Chemistry? AP Chemistry goes about 2 times faster than regular chemistry, so that tells you something about the breadth of the course. AP Chemistry students must memorize most of their formulas. I require this on my test because the College Board requires it on their tests, which AP Chemistry students take in May. Now, recently the College Board has started allowing students to use the formula sheet on all parts of the exam, but if you look at this formula sheet that the College Board provides you, it is missing a lot of essential information, and the information that is on there is heavily decontextualized. So this gets back to my original point, which is AP Chemistry students must memorize most of their formulas. The AP Chemistry test problems are much more difficult than the Honors Chemistry test problems. All tests are cumulative. That's one reason for the added level of difficulty. And I make these tests cumulative because the College Board AP exam, again taken in May, is cumulative, so students cannot afford to forget anything that is taught at an earlier stage of the class. Also, each unit, and hence each test, requires mastery of about 10 major concepts from 2 to 3 chapters. Finally, the lab reports are much more time-consuming and detailed. AP Chemistry students are required to write formal lab reports, which are typically 3 to 7 pages long. Hopefully by now you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to apply for AP Chemistry. If you're still interested, here's the 5 steps to apply. First, you have to finish watching this video. If you couldn't figure that out on your own, then you're probably too dumb to apply to AP Chemistry. Also, be sure to read the full description for this YouTube video. You'll have to click the Show More button below, and that will reveal a list of URLs and deadlines. This video is designed to be used for several years, and the deadlines will be different for each year, so I've put them in the description to make them easier to change. Second, apply online at this URL. It's a simple online form that will only take 5 minutes to fill out. Third, download material from this URL. Specifically, there are 3 files you will need. There is the AP Honors Application Checklist, the AP Honors Exam Confidentiality Form, and the AP Honors Parent-Guardian Signature Sheet. Fourth, take the AP Chemistry Entrance Exam. This is an in-person exam, and the date, time, and location are listed in the video description below. It can also be found on the AP Honors Application Checklist that I mentioned you were supposed to download above. Just in case you are particularly irresponsible about this, I put up posters which have the date and time of the entrance exam at least 1 week before the exam. Remember that exam confidentiality agreement that you were supposed to download? Well, you will need to have it printed, read, and signed before starting the exam. If you do not do this, you will lose time on the exam. So make sure that you have the exam confidentiality agreement ready by the morning of the exam. The exam itself happens during lunch. Finally, have your parent or guardian fill out the parent-guardian signature sheet. As usual, the deadlines for this are in the description below. In the previous slide, I talked about the entrance exam, so let me discuss that in a little bit more detail and address some frequently asked questions. There is no practice test for the AP Chemistry exam. I do this on purpose because the topics on this test are so fundamental that you should know them by heart. So, what are these mysterious topics? Well, the first thing to know is they're not all that mysterious. They include proportions, both direct and inverse proportionality. More generally, the test covers all Algebra 1 skills, including quadratic equations and systems of equations. Systems of equations, that's the process for solving for 2 unknowns using 2 equations. Usually you're solving for x and y. Now, no formulas need to be memorized for this exam. By the way, to go off on a tangent a little bit, I know that proportions are part of the first-year algebra curriculum, but it is critically important for AP Chemistry, so that topic is reinforced with its own bullet point. Moving on down the list, spatial relations. For example, can you take a 3-dimensional shape and rotate it in your head? Typical problem on this would be, imagine rolling 2 standard 6-sided dice, and you have a third one in your hand that you can look at. If I told you that the faces that were up, in other words facing you, were 5 and 3, what are the numbers on the bottom faces, the ones that are touching the tabletop? Okay, next topic is formal logic. This is the use of if-then statements and logical connections to draw a conclusion. It's the same sort of logic you use to do a 2-column proof in geometry. Last topic covered is experiment design. We teach this as part of preparations for science fair every year. A slightly surprising fact is that no actual specific knowledge of chemistry is tested. Like I said earlier, the test is designed to assess skills that you will need to have mastered in order to be ready for AP Chemistry, not the specific topics of chemistry. The test is timed, and time is limited to 45 minutes to cover 25 problems. So those are the things you need to do in order to apply. After that, a lot of stuff happens without your involvement. First, the science department gets additional information. Specifically, we get your math and science grades for both semesters of this school year. This is the most important factor in deciding your admissions to AP Chemistry. We also look at the cumulative weighted academic tech GPA for each student. Finally, if we cannot draw a conclusion from other information, we look at the Stanford 10 scores, although these are typically not used. The science department then uses all of this information to decide who is admitted. Due to the small size of the school, only one section of honors or AP course is allowed. Unqualified applicants will not be admitted, even if there is room in the class. Once admissions decisions are made, rosters will be posted in early May. So, let's say you did everything you were supposed to do, got good grades, did well in the entrance exam, and you are admitted to AP Chemistry. Woohoo! Now the hard part starts. As I mentioned before, in the prerequisites section, you have to complete a chemistry course before taking AP Chemistry. And there's some things I will expect you to know on the very first day. Here's a list of 5 key topics I expect you to know from chemistry. Nomenclature for acids, binary molecules, and ionic compounds. For example, if I say iron 2 phosphate, you should know that that is Fe3PO4 using nothing but a periodic table. And yes, you have to get the capitalization right, and you have to get the parentheses right, and you have to get the subscripts right. You should know ground state electron configurations, Lewis dot structures, hybridization, and valence shell electron pair repulsion, or VSEPR. You need to know mass to mole stoichiometry, including limiting reagent problems. And you need to know how to use the ideal gas law, that's PV equals nRT. In order to prepare students, they will receive a summer packet with practice problems and links to review resources. There will be quizzes on these topics throughout the first month, including on the first day. No additional class time will be spent on these topics due to the fast pace of the class. In other words, you are expected to have learned this material in your previous chemistry class and retained it throughout AP Chemistry. So, now that you're on the last slide of this video, here are some reminders of what you need to do next. First, see the video description below for forms, websites, and deadlines. And remember to click the Show More button. Second, fill out the online AP Honors Science application at this URL. Third, download and fill out 3 forms at this URL. The 3 forms you need are the AP Honors Application Checklist, the AP Honors Exam Confidentiality Agreement, remember that this is due at the beginning of the entrance exam, and the AP Honors Parent Guardian Signature Sheet. Fourth, take the entrance exam. The date, time, and location of this exam are in the video description below, as well as a few other places. Finally, if you have any further questions, please feel free to email me at this address. Thanks for listening, and good luck on your AP Chemistry application.